Good morning, friends and fellow traders. This is Doug Campbell with Right Way Options, and this is the morning market preparation video for October 9th, 2018. So, hey everyone, yesterday we finally saw a little bit of rally pushing right up off of that price support level right there. Isn't it amazing how price action works? Unfortunately, we had some news come out last night that is giving us a little bit of a pullback today. And something I want to talk about here just really quickly. First off, let's take a look at what we have going here in this chart. Let's make note that right here is that breakout that we had here for the year, and we are still below that resistance level. I also want to make note of the fact of our uptrend can also provide a resistance right in this area. So we'll want to watch that area right there for any potential of a failure. Now this morning what happened is, well, yesterday after the close, the IMF came out and they gave us some bad news. It always seems when the market starts to sell off, we kind of get a piling on of bad news. And IMF lowered the global growth estimates yesterday, and they are certainly suggesting, particularly emerging markets, showing an awful lot of pain and continuing their downtrend. But that trade disruptions are causing some issues around the world. So this morning we're looking at a gap down. And here's the thing. I see this a lot. There's a chant that out there, a mantra that's gotten started in the market, where they just blindly say, oh, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And there's no, I hate that phrase because there's no responsibility in that phrase. The responsibility of a trader is to pay attention to the price action of the chart and to pay attention to get good quality entries into a trade. Now let me go to a really short chart here, and I want you to notice that had you been watching this 15-minute chart, this rally up, a hold of support anywhere in here would have been a pretty darn good entry into the trade. And this morning, this gap down likely would not be hurting you much. You wouldn't like it, but it wouldn't be hurting you much. This is what I call a low risk entry. That's when that market moves up, or price action moves up, pulls back, makes a higher low, and gives us the first evidence of an uptrend and a low risk entry point for our stop. Now, if you happen to chase this later on in the day, and what happens most of the time, so many traders will chase late into the day or chase late into the rally. They want to make sure that price action breaks above there before they get into the trade. And they get in up here, and now this morning they are suffering substantially at the open. Make sure you're always buying at a low risk point, not at a closer to resistance point than a support point. And that seems to happen a lot anymore. I get those emails all the time. So be careful with that entire idea of just blindly buying the dip. Make sure you have a plan on what you're going to do to protect yourself if you happen to be wrong. And this morning is one of those examples. Gapping down about 150 points this morning here on the Dow. And those who jumped in thinking the water was finally safe to get back in, well, we find out there's still sharks out there chomping around and creating some pain. So hopefully you're not one of those experiencing that pain this morning. Let's keep in mind there is nothing at all in the way for the possibility of a retest of yesterday's low. However, this support level does look fairly good at the moment, and we could, we probably should be watching this area for a bounce or even that higher low to be created here. So for example, let's take a look right here. The higher low could be right here, catching this price support and then buyers stepping in off of there. So watch that closely. Let's take a look at the SPY. SPY rallied up nicely off of the low yesterday. And here's the good thing about the SPY. It, at the end of the day, ended up closing back above that yearly breakout point, holding that support. Here's the bad thing about the SPY. SPY also has this uptrend. That uptrend can obviously serve as resistance, as well as these price levels in here. So we're still below significant resistance, and any rally up we have to watch carefully for the potential of a failure that could take us to new lows. So watch that closely. Let's take a look at the Qs. Qs also had a nice little rally up yesterday after dumping pretty darn hard. And really, you know, we're well below the 50-day moving average here. And a failure of that magnitude normally creates some kind of a bounce. So if we watch right here, and we can see this price level that I've marked in pink right there, ended up holding our price yesterday, but we were unable to go back up and even turn this candle white. So this morning we're gapping down into this area, and that's why I say be really careful. The possibility of a retest of these lows is certainly in play, so watch that closely. If we happen to catch that higher low, if we don't make it all the way back down, well, and it happens to be supported by the bulls, if we pull back and find that higher low, we could see that bounce rally come in off of there. But unfortunately, that news today kind of piling on, pushing us back down and making for a very challenging trade. IWM also had a nice rally off the lows, holding this support now. You can see double wicks down here. This would be basically a tweezer type bottom if we were to get a follow through. But you can see we're getting no follow through this morning. We're actually gapping down and potentially coming back down here to test this again. So be really, really careful. We can probably experience quite a little bit of back and forth, quite a little bit of chop in the market. So let's well, it's just going to make it really, really challenging, especially for inexperienced traders. They could easily get chopped up down in this area, wanting a major desire to buy in and get into this dip and try to pick up the bottom, only to find out they just continuously get punished on these nasty pullbacks. So watch that close. Let's take a look at the VIX here. Now the VIX rallied sharply yesterday and then dipped right back down as the market started to rally. So you can see we rallied right up here into this price level that I've pointed out. Right up in here, held that as resistance and pulled back. Now we're getting that gap this morning, which is going to put us up into this area most likely. And hopefully that doesn't get crazy and really shoot up. We certainly don't want to see that happen. And as a matter of fact, I really kind of expect before something like that would happen, we get some kind of a little pullback or a rest before fear really came into the market strong. So let's be careful and be watchful of the VIX. A lot of back and forth and a lot of whip in this market can be expected when we see fear creeping up the way it is. Let's take a look at T21 22. T21 22, that 4-week new high, new low ratio. As you can see, we bounced pretty nicely yesterday on that rally. Unfortunately, what that does is give us the opportunity that we could move lower again. So with that selling coming in this morning, we certainly have opened up an opportunity to move lower, but we also have a substantial upside potential here So as we move back down this morning, watch this area down here for that potential reversal in the market. It could happen in here at any time. So let's stay focused on the chart, focused on price action, and we'll do a lot better in our trading. Let's go back here and take a quick look at our economic calendar today. Not much going on here today. Actually, no real market moving events here this morning. As you can see, we do have 3 Fed speakers today. We have 4 bill auctions going off today, and the Red Book and NFIB, which is already out this morning. So not much going on here on the economic calendar. And on the earnings calendar this morning, also kind of a light day with only 4 companies reporting earnings. AZZ reporting before the bell. AZZ. And that has not reported yet. It doesn't look like. We've got a really wide bid-ask spread out here, so don't know where that's going to open this morning. And HELE, Healy reporting this morning. It looks like they've reported well with a little bit of a gap up going on here this morning. So two reports after the bell as well from IDT, which obviously not likely to move the market around, and CNBKA also reporting after the bell. And a bank of this size could certainly move the market just a little bit, but actually unlikely. So with that, everyone, hey, I want to wish you all a fantastic day. I want to wish you great profits. And if this is the first time you've seen these videos, do me a favor. Click that subscribe button on YouTube, follow me button on Facebook. Click those thumbs up, drop a comment, and always feel free to share this video with any friends and family that you might think can benefit from this information. Please keep in mind, I do these as just as a help to those who need help in their preparation for the day. If you find them useful, please, give me that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Everyone, I want to wish you all the very, very best. I want to wish you great success. And if you're struggling as a trader out there, get some help, okay? Don't suffer that for years and years and years. Get some help and get on the right track, okay? Never give up, and always believe in yourself. All right, everyone, take care. Have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you all very soon.